Hello. In this presentation, you're going to learn how to solve a quadratic equation that has an imaginary solution. Let's go. Here's the equation. We're going to solve 4x squared plus 2x plus 16 equals 0. Quadratic equations have a solution of the form x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. We are now going to identify the coefficients. A is 4, b is 2, and c is 16. Now that we have identified a, b, and c, we are going to use them in the quadratic formula, where we get negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 16, all of that over 2 times 4, which gives us negative 2 plus or minus square root of 4 minus 256 over 8. Negative 2 plus or minus square root of negative 252 over 8. At this point, we see that we have a negative value inside of the square root, which is impossible. So we cannot continue solving this equation with real numbers. We are going to use an imaginary number which will force a solution to exist. That imaginary number is called I, where I squared equals negative 1. Nobody knows what I is. We only know that I squared equals negative 1. We are now going to take this I squared and plug it inside of the radical to separate the number from its negative sign. So we write x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus square root of I squared times positive 252. All of that over 8. Now I am going to take the square root of I squared, which is I, and take it out of the radical. So my solution has now become negative 2 plus or minus I times square root of positive 252, all of that over 8. I am now going to try and simplify my root. I'm going to factor it. 252 is equal to 4 times 63, and that is also equal to 4 times 7 times 9. At this point, I see that I have 4 and 9 as perfect squares. I am going to take those two out of the radical, and my solution becomes negative 2 plus or minus I times 2 times 3 times square root of 7 over 8. I'm going to clean up my answer a little bit. X is equal to negative 2 plus or minus 6i square root of 7 over 8. I'm simplifying my answer now by dividing each term of my fraction by 2, which gives me negative 2 over 2 plus or minus 6 over 2 times I square root of 7 over 8 over 2. I'm going to clean that up. X is equal to negative 1 plus or minus 3i square root of 7 over 4. And I am now going to write it in standard form for a complex number or an imaginary solution. My solution is now negative 1 over 4 plus or minus 3 over 4i square root of 7. Because we can't do both an addition and a subtraction at the same time, we have to separate and split our solutions. My first solution is going to be x equals negative 1 over 4 plus 3 over 4i square root of 7. And x can be equal to negative 1/4 plus 3/4 times I square root of 7. This is your solution to this equation. Again, these are not real numbers. These are imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers have a lot of applications in mathematics, but those applications are beyond the scope of this lesson, which only teaches you how to manipulate them and how to find them. Again, nobody knows what I is because it is an imaginary number. You have to keep your answer as is, and this is the end of your work. You can't continue any further. You can graph your equation, but as you can see, the Cartesian plane is using real numbers. Therefore, your graph will not show a 0, even though you found an imaginary solution for it to be equal to 0. There you go. This is the end of the presentation. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and come back again for more lessons. Bye-bye.